Okay, what is going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of the Juggernaut Show. Today, I am here to review ROH Final Battle 2022. And yes, I know this is a late review, but hey, there was a lot of wrestling to watch this past weekend. And, I'm just now kind of getting around, watching these shows, ROH and NXT Deadline. So, hey, this is better late than never. Am I right? But yeah, Final Battle was this past Saturday, December 10th, 2022. And overall, I thought it was a very enjoyable show. This is the last Ring of Honor pay-per-view of the year. We had 3 pay-per-views. The first one was Super Card of Honor, great show. That was during WrestleMania weekend, and then we had Death Before Dishonor, which was in July. Another great show. And then now we had ROH Final Battle. So we already had 2 shows, under the Ring of Honor of Tony Khan. And like I said, I thought it was an enjoyable show. But there's a few gripes that I kind of have about the show. Like overall, it's felt like an AEW show, which I know, it's run by Tony Khan, so it's gonna be, it felt like AEW a little bit. Like it had a AEW crowd type of feel to it. Like a lot of reactions, like you see that like at an AEW pay-per-view. You also I feel like there were some matches that felt like, early on in the show they could have just been on like Dynamite or Rampage or AEW Dark, in my opinion. But yeah, but overall, like I said, I thought it was a really enjoyable show, and let's quit wasting time. Let's get started with this review, shall we? So, the first matchup we're going to be talking about is Blake Christian and AR Fox going up against Juristico and Roosh. And also, I'm not going to talk about the 0 hour. Like, there's really no point talking about that part of the show. A lot of the matches were very pointless. But yeah, Blake Christian and AR Fox going up against Juristico and Roosh. I thought this was a fun opener. This was really fun. You had a lot of high flying flippity dippity spots. You had Juristico. He had a nice springboard shooting star press onto both AR Fox and Blake Christian. I thought that was nice. You had Roosh throwing Blake Christian to the barricade a lot. Like Roosh always does. You also had Blake Christian. He got dominated a lot during this match until he finally made the hot tag to AR Fox, and AR Fox was just like flying everywhere in the match. AR Fox, if I said his name right. He was just flying everywhere in the match, doing dives over the top rope, which was pretty cool. But the ending was very weird in my opinion. Like AR Fox hit a 450 splash onto Juristico, and when the referee went for the count of 3, like Juristico's arm came up, or his shoulder came up. So I don't know if it was a botch or if it was supposed to happen storyline, but it just didn't look very good. And then the crowd was chanting, "You fucked up, and all that. Yeah, I just thought it was kind of weird. The ending was weird. The match was okay for what it was. But after the match, we had Roosh and Juristico, this brutalized Blake Christian and AR Fox, hit him with steel chairs and just beat him down. Yeah, it was a small match for what it was, but yeah, like I said, Blake Christian and AR Fox, surprisingly got the win here, which I wasn't expecting them to win. And then the next match we had was the ROH Women's Championship. On the line, we had Mercedes Martinez defend the title against Athena. And I don't know, I just felt like Mercedes Martinez kind of got a lukewarm feel here, from the crowd. They didn't really care about her that much. It was an okay match. Mercedes Mercedes Martinez was just kind of playing around with Athena, not taking her seriously and stuff. Martinez, she tried locking in the that kind of sleeper hold. She likes to lock in a lot until Athena started started biting on her arm and stuff or her hand. So I mean that was cool in the match. We kind of saw this darker side of Athena. Like I kind of like this new character that she's doing a little bit. Her character development is getting better. There was one point in the match where Athena took off the turnbuckle. It was the top turnbuckle. I can't remember what turnbuckle was, but she took off the turnbuckle pad, and then she ended up hitting a drop kick in the corner, and Mercedes Martinez hit her head, and then Athena went to the top rope and hit the O face to get the 1, 2, 3, and your new ROH Women's Champion is Athena. So I'm happy for Athena. She's a big name. This gives some name recognition to Ring of Honor. Like, hey, if people want to tune in, go like, hey, they're going to know who Athena is. So that really helps. That helps get the name recognition up for Ring of Honor and stuff. And she really deserves it because I thought when they first brought Athena into AEW, I got what she's going to be. She's going to be AEW Women's Champion very soon. But no, she didn't do that. And then, I thought, okay, maybe she might become TBS Women's Champion, but no, she lost to Jade Cargill. But no, I mean, I'm happy for Athena. I think she's the first ever Black Women's Champion in Ring of Honor, so that's really cool there. But no, I mean, it was a solid match for what it was. But like I said, your new ROH Women's Champion was Athena. And then the next match we had was Shane Taylor and JD Griffey going up against Swerve in Our Glory. Now, the first part of this match was very slow, in my opinion. Until they started. You saw Shane Taylor and Keith Lee going at it. That was nice. Two big, beefy men going at it. I wouldn't mind seeing that on AEW television. That'd be pretty cool to see. But ultimately, the big story in this match was, you had Keith Lee and Swerve Scott. They were doing some double team moves, and then Keith Lee just accidentally elbows, lays out Swerve Scott. Swerve Scott says, I'm done. I'm done here. That was his last straw, and he walks out on Keith Lee. And you think there's no way that Keith Lee is going to be able to win this match here. You had Shane Taylor and JD Griffey. They were doing some double team moves. And then JD Griffey ultimately kicks Shane Taylor in the head and lays him out. And then you go like, oh, okay, there's a chance that Keith Lee could still win this match for his team. So he hits the Big Bang Catastrophe on JD Griffey and gets the 1, 2, 3. So it still makes Keith Lee look really strong. Makes him like a big superhero, and I like how they booked him here. Like there was when Swerve Scott walked out, there was no way that Swerve and Our Glory was going to be able to win. I thought that Shane Taylor Promotions was going to end up winning the match. And at first, I didn't really know who JD Griffey was, but then I figured out, I actually saw JD Griffey a few months ago at a Wrestling Revolver show, which I didn't even know. I didn't even know that I saw him before, but like, oh yeah, I've seen JD Griffey before. But no, I mean, it was a solid match, and there's one point where Keith Lee was getting ready to do a move on to JD Griffey. I don't know if they're related or something, like they're brothers or like they're cousins or they're related in some way. Because like, don't do it. I'm going to tell his mother or something like that. So, but no, it was a solid, it was an okay match, and I definitely think, this is the end of the road for Swerve and Our Glory. They're going to be probably feuding with each other. Maybe they might have a match at, Holiday Bash, or maybe they might. I don't know if they're going to drag anything out to Revolution. We'll see, but solid stuff here. Really good stuff. And then the next match we had was the 6-man titles on the line. We had Dalton Castle and the boys defending the titles against the Gates of Agony and Brian Cage. This is an okay match. I mean, I was kind of predicting Dalton Castle and the boys to retain titles, but that didn't end up happening. Brian Cage, he was looking like a star in this match. I like the suplex that he hit into the side into the ring on I think it was on one of the boys. You had Dalton Castle, him hitting a whole bunch of German suplex, not a whole bunch of suplexes. Those like a lot of nice exploder suplexes. I don't know what it is, but every time Dalton Castle lowers his hips and he just sends people flying, it starts doing suplexes. So he was doing that left or right. And also he was sending the boys, out to the side of the ring, sending them flying into the Gates of Agony and all that. But ultimately, the Gates of Agony and Brian Cage did end up winning. I think they did like the Gates of Agony, they threw one of the boys into Brian Cage and did this nice power bomb. It was a nice sit out power bomb. It was cool. Made Brian Cage look really good there. And yeah, I think it was the right move to do because they were losing a lot of matches on AEW television, and to feature them heavily onto Ring of Honor. I think that would be really smart to do. So it's nice to have Gates of Agony and Brian Cage win the title, the 6-man ROH titles here. And like I said, Brian Cage, he deserves so much better right now, and this is good. I'm happy they're giving him a title here. And then the next match we had was the ROH Pure title on the line. We had Daniel Garcia's defending that title against Wheeler Yuta. So this is their third match in the series. Ultimately, I think their Death Before Dishonor match was a little better in my opinion. But I mean, this was still good stuff here. This match, I think it went about like 14 or 15 minutes or something like that. I can't exactly remember. But I like what Daniel Garcia was doing this match. He made Wheeler Yuta use up all of his rope breaks at the beginning of the match. Kind of like forcing them into the ropes, and kind of reminds me of what's his name? He was a part of the Foundation, and like during the pandemic of like Ring of Honor. Not Jonathan Gresham. Oh, Tracy Williams. What Tracy Williams was doing, like how he made people, force them into the ropes and like lock in submissions and stuff. And that's what Daniel Garcia was doing here. And you thought, okay, there's no way Wheeler Yuta is going to be able to win the match. But he came back hitting suplexes, doing some nice strong style type of moves. And then he started hammering down with those elbows that Daniel Bryan likes, the Bryan Danielson elbows. Started hitting those. And ultimately, the referee had to ring the bell and had to stop the match. So your new Ring of Honor Pure Champion is Wheeler Yuta. So I thought it was an okay match. I wasn't expecting Wheeler Yuta to win here, because Wheeler Yuta won, the first match, and then we had Daniel Garcia's win, so now they're just kind of playing hot potato with the title. So maybe they might be featuring Wheeler Yuta more on ROH TV when it finally airs up. Probably, I think it's going to be somewhere around February or March. I'm not exactly sure. But hey, it was an okay match. Like I said, I think their Death Before Dishonor match was better, though. Excuse me. And then next, we have the match of the night right here. This is, if you haven't seen this match, what are you doing? Go check this match out after you check out this review. Go check out this match right here. We had the third match in the series. In this trilogy, we had FTR defending the ROH tag team titles against the Briscoe brothers. Awesome match. I really enjoyed it. Very brutal. And you can argue like any of these matches, like were like any of these FTR versus Briscoe matches were like one of the matches of the year. Like you say the one at Super Card of Honor, you could say the match at Death Before Dishonor, the 2 out of 3 Falls match, and then even his dog collar match. I think the one at Death Before Dishonor was better, in my opinion. That was my favorite one. But this one was a great one here too. But there's some stuff that's like limited, like you can do so much in a dog collar match because you're hooked together in a dog collar. But they were doing some pretty nice moves here, and like everybody was so bloody by the end of this match. Like the ring was like all bloody everywhere. It was pretty brutal. Um, you had Mark Briscoe flying off the stage into Cash Wheeler. That was nice. Um, you had a whole bunch of steel chairs being brought out. You had them fighting in the crowd. I mean, this was crazy stuff here. Um, you had a whole bunch of steel chairs on the outside of the ring, and there's one point where Mark Briscoe was like on the top rope, and I think Cash Wheeler pulls him down into a whole bunch of steel chairs on the outside of the ring. That looked pretty brutal. I mean, it looked more brutal than the table spot that they did at Death Before Dishonor. Um, you had Dax Harwood wrapping the chain around his head and doing like a headbutt. Kind of paying homage to 1, 2, 3 Kid. I thought that was nice how commentary was saying that. And then you even when Jay Briscoe hit the J Driller, and then Dax Harwood kicked out at 2. I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you got to do to beat this team? I go, like, this man isn't human. Dax is not human. And then you saw Dax hit a pile driver onto Jay Briscoe. I mean, they were just hitting big moves out of everywhere, and you had a big superplex off the top rope into a whole bunch of steel chairs. Looks like that hurt Dax pretty good there. I mean, that was a pretty big spot. But ultimately, the Briscoes did become the new ROH World Tag Team Champions when Jay Briscoe he wrapped the chain around the neck of Dax Harwood. And I really like how Cash Wheeler was trying to get into the ring and kind of stop Jay Briscoe or break it up. But Mark Briscoe was just pulling on the chain, trying to hold him back, and it was nice to see the sense of urgency there. But Dax Harwood passed out, because he couldn't breathe anymore and stuff. So, yeah, your new ROH World Tag Team Champions, the Briscoes, and hey, I mean the Briscoes really been killing it in Ring of Honor this year. They were probably the best thing going in Ring of Honor, and for the Ring of Honor that they have had. But like I said, if you haven't checked this match out, definitely go check it out later. Go find a way to check it out. Go watch it on Bleacher Report. Go watch it on a website somewhere. Go check out this match. Best match of the night. And it's gonna be nice to see. And for how long the Briscoes been doing this thing for like 20 years, they're at the top of their game right now. They are really killing it. In tag team wrestling. Like I said, I put any of these 3 matches that they have had in like match of the year contenders. But now we're going to move on to the next match, and it's hard. It's going to be hard to follow the dog collar match, and now that Samoa Joe and Juice Robinson had to follow that, in the ROH TV title match. That's just hard to do. But I mean, this was an okay match. I mean, I really wasn't into this match at all very much. Samoa Joe ended up retaining the ROH TV title against Juice Robinson. It's an okay match. I'm just not the biggest fan of Juice Robinson. Like, I don't really see him a lot on, American TV. I mean, he has been in New Japan. He does some pretty good stuff over there, but I just don't see him enough over here. And like, he's had an injury and stuff, so he's just come back after that. And now that he is signed to not ROH, he is signed to AEW. It's cool, but I just don't really see him a lot on TV. Samoa Joe ended up hitting the Muscle Buster to get the 1, 2, 3. okay match. I mean, I like the counters that Juice was doing to the like the Coquille clutch. That was nice, but other than that, I mean, it was just an okay match for what it was. And then we move on to the main event, which we had was the ROH World Title on the line. We had Chris Jericho defending the title against Claudio Castagnoli. This was a good match. I enjoyed it. Really fun match. Kind of slow to start off the match here, but I like what Jericho was doing, like the character, he was playing here. It was nice. It was really good. This seemed like a very New Japan strong style type of match here. Um, you had a lot of chops going back and forth with both guys, and you didn't have very much selling from Chris Jericho here. He didn't sell a whole lot in this match. Um, he had a lot of uppercuts from Claudio Castagnoli. I really liked the reversal that Claudio. Oh no, like Claudio was going for the King of Swing, but Jericho reversed it into the Walls of Jericho. That was really nice in the match. Um, but the ending was very shocking to me when Claudio Castagnoli he was doing the King of Swing. He did like 33 like rotations or something like that. And Jericho, he ended up getting his hand on the mat and tapping out that way. Like I wouldn't expected the match to end that way, like at all. I wasn't expecting the match to end that way at all, but it did. So your new Ring of Honor champion was Chris Jericho. Sorry, Claudio Castagnoli. So your new Ring of Honor champion is Claudio Castagnoli, which I wasn't expecting the title to change hands because you want to keep the title like on some like a bigger name like Chris Jericho. You want people to tune into like the TV show. Um, but now that they're only going to be doing ROH on Honor Club. I mean Claudio Castagnoli because I feel like the bigger story what they're going to do here was they're going to have a story with like Chris Jericho and like Daniel Garcia's. Maybe Daniel Garcia's finally turning on the Jericho Appreciation Society and maybe going after Jericho, for like the ROH World Title. But no, that it didn't end up happening. So we got Claudio Castagnoli winning. Big moment here, and it was solid here. But yeah, that was ROH Final Battle 2022, and they also did have an announcement on the show that they are gonna be bringing back weekly television for Ring of Honor, which is gonna be cool. But it's not gonna be like on TBS. It's not gonna be on TNT or like True TV. Not like any Warner Brother television network, which is kind of unfortunate. They're gonna be putting it on Honor Club sometime in 2023, like early 2023. So Tony Khan asked Del Moore to announce about that. I mean, so it's cool that they're going to be finally, doing a TV deal or like getting like you know, doing weekly television. But you have to pay $9.99 for it. You have to subscribe to Honor Club, which I'm going to wait a little bit till Ring of Honor, they start get up and going to see what it's going to be like. But with Honor Club, you get to watch old you get to watch old Ring of Honor, you get to watch the pay-per-views, from in the past and even the pay-per-views from 2022. So Super Card of Honor, Death Before Dishonor, and you get to watch Final Battle. So I mean, it might be worth it. We'll have to see what happens, and we'll see how long ROH is going to be like. If it's going to be a 2-hour television show, or if it's going to be like 1 hour. In my opinion, it should just be a 1-hour show, like NXT was back in the day. But like right when they first came on the WWE Network. But yeah, we just have to see what happens. But overall, I thought Ring of Honor Final Battle was really a solid show. Definitely the best match tonight you got to check out is the dog collar match between FTR and the Briscoes. And after this video, I'm gonna be doing my WWE NXT Deadline review. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna be doing that review, as well as I'm going to talk about the Mandy Rose situation. in that video, probably like at the end of the video. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts on, Mandy Rose get released, I'll be talking about that in my next video. As well as I just did, and then I uploaded my vlog for Wrestling Revolver season finale. That went to a few weeks ago. So you guys can go check out my vlog um Wrestling Revolver if you guys like to do that. Um as well as I'm gonna be doing a vlog this Monday. I'm going to Monday Night Raw. So that's gonna be cool. It's gonna be my final wrestling show of the year. I'm going to. I'm gonna be sitting second row on the floor. So be on the lookout for me if you're watching Raw. And also hit that subscribe button if this is your first time ever checking out my channel. That would help me out quite a bit. As well as hit the like button and go down in the comments below. Tell me what you guys want to see. Tell me some different videos you guys want to see. As well as turn on the post notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video. So I don't have to wonder, oh, when's Juggernaut making a video? Well, you know when I'm making the video because you already have all my notifications. But yeah, like I said, that was my ROH Final Battle 2022 review. And it was, like I said, it was a very solid show. Really easy to sit through. But yeah, this is your boy Juggernaut saying peace out. And I will catch you guys in my next video whenever that may be. But peace out. See you guys later.